Hey, y'all. Hey, welcome to the Joys of Loss podcast, where we acknowledge, accept, and address our major life transitions so that we can learn better, love better, and live better. Since we won't make it out alive, let's have a divine time and remember to always stay wild. I am your host, Zan Washington, and this is episode 13. All right, so here we are. We're back. Yes, we're back. Ooh, y'all. Let me tell you. After recording those first 12 episodes, it was so nice to free my mind and just have those thoughts out. And it just cleared my brain so that I could process more and heal more. And I just needed to take some time for myself and really process different things that was going on in my life. And it's just been really nice, really hard. And yeah, and I'm just a real firm believer in, if you don't have nothing to say, you don't need to say anything. So, and I also want to make sure that whenever I'm creating a podcast episode, that I want to feel good, because I want that to come through my message to you, especially when we talk about something as heavy as loss. And I just want you to know that everything's going to be okay. And I need to make sure that I'm always feeling good when I'm talking to you, because it's just so important. But yeah, so today's episode, we're going to talk about healing. What the F is healing anyway? Okay, WTF is healing anyway. It's such a popularized topic, just a word that's used. It's just over here healing, or you need to heal. And I know we hear that, but sometimes it's what does that even mean? Right? And it's are you healing the right way? Whatever that means. You know what I'm saying? So, if, I don't know, you're not growing your hair out in locks or something drastic, or doing some really intense healing kind of drugs or something, or if you're not into tarot or oracle or astrology, or I don't know, reading certain books, does that mean you're not healing? And that's a no. That's not the case. You don't have to do those things. Healing for everybody doesn't look the same. And when I think about healing, I think that healing is when you can consciously and intentionally look at your life and say, maybe I could have did this better. Or, I didn't like how that was done to me. Or I wonder why my parents did that. Or I wonder why I felt this way. I think that healing is when you're able to call out that something's changed, or that you realize something you never realized before. Healing is also taking responsibility for who you are, the role you played, and even being able to sit back and say, you know what, this part of it isn't mine. I got that from childhood, or I might have got that from my experiences in school or in adolescence or through friends. This experience or this trauma caused me to feel this way. So being able to claim that and actually acknowledge that something isn't right with you, or you don't handle things the best, or you want to work on something with yourself, when you get there, that's healing. So if you can look back at the past and say, man, I did this thing and I don't want to do this anymore because it's not good for me. That's healing. And I'm proud of you. And that could be small. That could be something really just teeny tiny. That could be fixing something in your food. That could be adjusting how much you drink or don't drink, or going certain places that you don't feel are the best environment, or hanging around certain people that you don't think work with you the best. Setting boundaries, like you can admit that you don't like something or you don't want to do something. And maybe you said it before, but now you say it with more conviction and with more meaning and with more courage and bravery. Maybe you just realize you haven't been acting like yourself, or you're trying to figure out who yourself is. All of that is healing. So I think if you are willing to take true inventory of who you are, and what's going on in your life, like shout out to you. That's healing. And your process might be slower than others. Maybe it isn't as fast as it needs to be, or just it not necessarily needs to be. I mean, your timing is your timing. But healing is a complete self journey, just like this life is, in your divine timing. And I want you to know that that can take so many forms. So trust yourself, believe in yourself. And if you are really making strides to be better for you, if you are caring about you and minding your business, all right? I was telling some friends the other day that I feel like I just understood what minding my business means like this year. And minding your business really is when you start thinking about what other people need to be doing. You say, you know what? I don't have any control over them. What do I need to be doing? What do I need to focus on? So that's minding your business. So I encourage you all to mind your business, drink your water, and go forth and heal. Like, heal how you need to heal. Try new things. Revisit old things, old stuff you used to do in childhood, old stuff you used to do in your 20s or whatever, if you're not 20 something. But yeah, like, you probably are healing, and I think to claim it and embrace it and welcome more. All right. So yeah, that's healing to me. And as we get older and become better and better at being ourselves, especially when we're in a conscious and intentional way, oh man, healing, I don't know if it gets easier, but I think you just accept it a little better. Yeah. So I'm going to do a little book divination with this wonderful book by one of my favorite authors, Brianna Wiest. And her book is called When You're Ready, This Is How You Heal. All right. So I'm just going to, flip some pages and see what the collective needs to hear. What do we need to hear? I'll stop right here. Okay. Oh, yeah. This is nice. Okay. So I'm going to read this passage. There's no such thing as falling behind. There is not just one way your life can unfold. That's the title. Okay, come on, book divination. Here is a sentence that will either disrupt your worldview or free you, and probably both. Everybody is having the exact experience they need to be having right now. This is hard to accept when we see people around us making what we perceive to be grave errors in their lives. This is hard to accept when we witness the people we love struggling and we want to show them the way out. This is hard to accept when we can't stop judging and punishing ourselves for not being better, farther, and different. When we are young and before we really have a sense of autonomy, our lives are governed by a process, a specific order. We know that we learn to crawl, then walk. We know that we learn to tie our shoes and put on our jackets. We know that when we're done with second grade, we go to third. Our lives are built-in reinforcing systems. We are reinforced by our peers, by our family, by our grades. We know that the goal is to graduate, pursue a job or an education, get married, and have kids. Then, of course, life happens. We find that this formula for an existence is just really a suggestion, one to guide us toward prosperity and not self-destruction. We aren't often given a lesson on how to be fulfilled. We aren't often told what to do if we don't quite get there when everyone else does. If our big milestones are letdowns, or most commonly, if we check off every box on the list and find that we are somehow still empty inside. Falling behind is an illusion. There is no such thing. There is not one way for your life to unfold. Sometimes we have to take the back road because the long way around teaches us what we need to know. Sometimes we sit in our own pain for years before we start waking up and adjusting our behavior. Sometimes we learn from being different is more important than what we learn from fitting in. Sometimes our greatest successes are decades in the making. Sometimes we do peak early. Sometimes we need years of growth and self-discovery to decide what we need next. Sometimes the point of the journey is to have different experiences, not just to cycle through a series of them until we decide on the one thing we want forevermore. When we believe that it is possible to fall behind, we place limits on ourselves. When we believe that it is possible to fall behind, it is because we think that the point of life is just to arrive at a certain series of checkpoints until we die. Graduate, get a job, pay the bills, mildly hate yourself, get married, fight with your spouse, have kids, fight with them, grow old, retire, and then try to enjoy what's left. If you are truly worried about falling behind your peers, please ask yourself what you really think you're falling behind on. So many people met every single milestone they were meant to and are no happier for it. This is because life is not about just going through the motions. Life is meant to be lived. Life is meant to be experienced. And we often find that our pain is the portal to awakening to that experience. Discomfort is the signal that there's more for us, there's more to savor, more to feel, to be. What if you did not measure your life by how it compared to who is around you, but instead how it felt inside of you? What if your priority wasn't on the type of growth that people can see, but the type of personal growth that revolutionizes you? The kind that changes the way you do everything from sipping your coffee in the morning to breathing in spring air. Sometimes the setback is the journey, because the path you were on wasn't going somewhere you wanted anyway. Sometimes the setback is the wake-up call you need to save your life, because otherwise you were barreling toward your own self-destruction. Sometimes being different isn't a bad thing. It means you're on a journey of something deeper and something bigger that most people wouldn't even dare to dream of. Y'all, perfection, okay? Perfect. It's just perfectly written. I love her so much, Brianna Wiest. So I'm going to link down below my book list on my Amazon cart so you can see all the different books I've been reading and that I like. So feel free to check that out. Y'all, just heal how you heal. Live your life how you live your life. And accept it. All right? Since we won't make it out alive, let's have a divine time. And remember to always stay wild. Bye.